Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alicia and today we're going to be doing our pre-balance for the month of December for our budgets. And I have my planner here, my budget planner. This is my Erin Condren monthly planner. We already set up a bunch of spreads for the month of December. And I'm just going to do a quick flip through since I do have the videos up for these as well. So we're going to be doing our pre-balance. Our pre-balance, I use my weekly balance sheet. This is just so I can balance out my checking account. It just makes things a lot easier for our week one check-in, just to have all this stuff already taken care of in a separate video. So I can do it together with you guys, and week one's check-in is not like a gajillion years long. But we're gonna go ahead and just run through this one. I have my spread here with all of my checking accounts and saving accounts, since I do like to show you guys a visual, but I'm too anxious to show like my actual electronic bank accounts. So this is kind of just how I show you guys how much is in those certain accounts. I will have videos linked below explaining our two checking accounts and our two saving accounts, how they're hooked up together, how they work together, how I set them up, so on and so forth, and like the purpose of them. Those videos will be linked below. There's two of them. One of them is a lot more in depth than the other one. I do have two checking accounts and two saving accounts. This long-term one is at a separate institution. This is the one that we try to never touch, but this short-term one is what houses our paychecks and some residual funds. We have two checking accounts. One checking account is to make payments and for any outgoing funds, and then our second checking account is the one we're going to be balancing today. This is what houses all of our funds, our primary funds, so we're ready to go for the month. So let's actually talk about our paychecks first. So I wanted to give you guys an update. We did get 2 paychecks for the month so far. For the month of December, we do get 5 paychecks, which is really nice. I'm thinking that in one of the weekly check-ins, I'll talk about what we're planning on doing with the week 5 paycheck. But for right now, first paycheck was $1,250. Second paycheck is $1,500. So there is a variance of $250 since we did budget for $1,250. So this money is going to be going towards one of our debt payments, but we'll talk about that in that debt payment video. But anyway, so just to tell you guys or fill you guys in on how much is in here, I realized I never crossed that out. But last time we checked in, it was $5,509.05. Since we already did get those 2 extra paychecks, the new amount now is going to be $8,259.05. And just to show you guys, 5509.05 plus the 2 paychecks, 1,250 plus 1,1500 equals that amount that is now the balance in there. I just put the sticker over it because it's not going to stay this number for long, since we are going to be doing transfers shortly to set up for the budget for the month. But now let's go ahead and lay this spread down so we can start filling it in and just balancing out that checking account. I do have my sheet here. This is my weekly balance sheet. It's missing a thin washi because I laid it down on a separate spread. I only need 1 washi for the spread anyway, so that's kind of why I took a washi from that one. But okay, so we're laying down. This design is design 2 for the month of December. I love both of the designs, so you guys already know that I'm actually using both designs for the month. But we're gonna put the script down. It's a little stuck. Okay, there we go. And we're gonna lay the script down right in the center for weekly balance. But that is what that's looking like so far. And I do only balance for 4 weeks. I do have 5 strips on them, so if you guys want to do it for 5 weeks, you definitely can. But I have 4 weeks since I always just budget for 4 weeks or check in for 4 weeks. It's just easier for me. Even though that just means some of the weeks are actually pretty long, to be honest, depending on how the month starts. But I'm totally okay with it. I'm kind of like, I never know how much to zoom in. I feel like here is okay, hopefully. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I only skip 5 lines because I like to match it up with the weekly check-in, because the weekly check-in, I do need 5 lines in between the weeks. So I like that. It just looks a little bit more symmetrical, I guess you could say. And then, all right, and then we're gonna have one more strip down. I hope that these weekly balance videos helps with kind of getting an idea of how we do budget, since we are cashless budgeters. We don't use cash, we are electronic, and we try to use our credit cards for absolutely everything. And this is just to show how we kind of set up our checking account every single month. We do get paid every 2 weeks, both me and my husband, but we do like to put those funds aside that come in for the month, for the following month. Ever since we started doing that, it's been so helpful because we have all the funds ready to go at the beginning of the month. And how we did that was we did end up getting our tax returns in one of the years, maybe 2017, 2018. When did we, I don't even remember what year it was that we first moved out, but we decided to just take those tax returns and kind of get a month ahead. So my husband's student loan payment is at the very, very end of the month, because I want to do the debt payment videos earlier in the month, but I want to wait until that payment comes out. So I had him call them to see if they could move it up towards the beginning of the month, and he was on the phone on hold for like an hour and 30 minutes. This is with Nelnet, and he ended up having to get off the phone because we had to go. So I believe he already emailed them, but even they're emailing, they said that they're like delayed with email responses. So we'll just have to see how long it's going to take for them to move that payment up, because I would really much like to do the debt payment videos at the beginning, so I can set it up and everything as well. Anyway, I laid down these flags, and this I'm not going to end up using since I don't use 5 weeks. I'm going to set that to the side, and let's write down the weeks just so we know what we're working with here, because I actually didn't look. I do it from Sunday to Saturday, which means first week will be from the 1st to the 9th. Then we have the 10th to the 16th. 17th to the 23rd, and then 24th to the 31st, and then 24th to the 31st. Okay, so that is looking good so far. This is how the spread is looking, and then on this side I will end up putting my weekly check-in, which I normally do every single month. And this is a spread that I use to balance out our daily expenses, or like our cash envelopes, electronic cash envelopes. But let's go ahead and balance out for the month. Okie dokies. We have 3 categories, and this is just what works for us. Okay, I wrote it in the wrong spot. I had this little milk whiteout that I got from Amazon like a whole long time ago, and I'm finally using it. We have 3 categories. We have daily, we have bills, and then we have our sinking funds. And these are the categories that work for us. And these primary categories, for all of them, I have broken down into multiple subcategories, which is just what I really like doing, because I like to see patterns. I like to kind of be very familiar with our spending habits. I have all 3 of them in our second checking accounts, which is here: daily, bills, and sinking funds. I think what we're going to do first is we're going to finish transferring, because I forgot to do it last month, but in our results video for November, you guys probably know that we had a leftover of a positive amount, which is great because October we were negative, but we had a leftover positive amount of $25.84. So we have to transfer that out so we can have like the correct amount, because right now this is how much is in there, and I'm gonna go ahead and transfer that $25.84 out to our primary checking, because I do plan on using this to put towards our debt as well for our student loans. Any extra bit for this month as well, I plan on putting towards our student loan debt, but I'm gonna go ahead and transfer it real quick. And after I transfer it, the amount in here is going to be 1004.84 minus $25.84. That is going to be $979. And if you guys watch the results video, or even the sinking funds video, honestly both of them have the same, but the end amount for the month that carries over is $979. So that's why there's that much left in that account, because sinking funds carries over. Whatever we don't use from month to month carries over to the following month. So we started with our sinking funds for all the categories is $979. So that's why we have that much in that checking account currently. Alrighty, so I did that transfer real quick. So let me actually, so I wanted to just write that down real quick. It's $979. That's currently in this account. Again, I'm just gonna like pop it over this sticker because this is gonna change shortly. Now, going backwards, I feel like the flow of this video is a little different from how I usually do the weekly balances. So let me know if I'm making it more confusing. But talking about these categories, we have our daily. Our daily is these 5 categories that we set up every single month. These are what I consider our electronic cash envelopes, our daily expenses. So in total, I realized I never added it up. In total, adding up all 5 of these amounts, it is going to be $1,000. So for this section alone, for our cash envelopes, we have $1,000 to start with. 1,000. Then we have our bills. For our bills, we did add this up together. All of our bills on here, variable and fixed, these are all of our bills. And adding up all the variable bills along with the fixed bills equals $31.75. So we have $31.75 for all of our bills for the month. And then I also realized I did not add this up either, but the total for these two combined is $825. We are zero-based budgeters, which means the 1,000 plus the 31.75 plus the 825 equals that estimated income for 5,000. Now for the third category that's in here is sinking funds. Sinking funds is separate from our budget, so we want to talk about how much we started with. So we already know that whatever amount we don't use rolls over from month to month. We started with 975 and we added 725. And that 725 is what we budgeted for the month of December, 725, which means that 979 plus 725 equals $1,704. So that is what we're starting with currently for week 1. Now these are all the numbers that we have budgeted for the month. And my voice is cracking, but this is all the numbers that we have starting for the month. But last but not least, we do have our Ally $100. Every month I kind of do it like separately, and I just do the transfer real quick when we do these videos, but I'm thinking of actually starting to write them down so you guys can see it, and then the future weeks I'm not going to incorporate it. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing that, but for this month, I just wanted to try to see how it looks. But we have Ally. This is for our savings account that we want to transfer, and we budgeted $100 in here that we have to transfer. And I didn't transfer it yet. I will do it soon, but let's actually go ahead and add all of this up. So we have 1,000 plus 31.75 plus 1,704 plus 100. That equals $5,979 that we are starting with. I usually just fill the number here at the beginning of the month because it's just easy for me to refer back to it since I'm filming with you guys. But that is how much we need for all of our expenses for the month to cover our daily expenses for our day-to-day spendings, our bills for all of our variable and fixed bills, for sinking funds for all of these subcategories, and then our little savings that we're going to be transferring that $100. If you guys know, that means the numbers are perfect because we rolled over that $979 from last month, and our budget for the month of December is $5,000. So $5,000 plus $979 equals what we just budgeted for, which is awesome. And now for the last transfer, which is going to be transferring that $5,000 that we need. And we're going to transfer that $5,000 from our short-term savings to this checking account. So we will have that full $5,979. Alrighty, so now that that's completed, this number is now no longer accurate. And the reason why we already had those funds in there is because these are all the paychecks that came in from November, just like how all the paychecks coming in for December is going to be for set aside for our budget for January. But the new number in here is going to be $3,259.05 that is in our savings. This is probably going to stay the same until the end of the month because we're going to continue accumulating the rest of our paychecks so we have the funds ready to go for January. And then for this one, the amount in here, we know that's no longer correct, is going to be that $5,979 that is in this second checking account. Alrighty, so that's actually going to be it for our pre-balance. We are ready to go. We have all the funds ready in our account, so as we do our weekly check-ins and have to do transfers, we already have a good base to start with. But that is actually going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much as always for watching. Let me know if this flow is a little bit better than previous ones. But anyway, thank you guys so much as always for tuning in. I hope that you guys have an amazing day, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Bye.